We usually watch David Wood debate like PhD scholars or famous sheikhs, right? But it looks like the final boss of Christian apologetics is getting bored, so he decided to log onto Nigerian Twitter, where the arguments are loud, the profiles are prestigious, and the logic, well, the logic is currently in a witness protection program. And what happened next wasn't a debate, it was a massacre, a bloodbath. Honestly, it's just embarrassing. Let's meet our contestants. First up is Abu Gaza. He's a retired combat veteran and an army commander. If you think a man trained in strategy will know how to avoid a massive tactical blunder, you will be wrong. He writes, "As a Muslim, I condemn all forms of oppression and terrorism. This is Islam. This is the truth." And David replies, "Thank you for condemning Muhammad." That was followed by a hadith where Muhammad said, "I have been made victorious with terror." Abu Gaza just accidentally court-martialed his own prophet. But Abu wasn't done. He writes, "I regret every mistake I've ever made, except for 3 things: that I'm Muslim, Jesus is not God, that I said the Shahada." And David replies, "It is good that you admit that being a Muslim, rejecting Jesus as God, and saying the Shahada are all mistakes on your part. But why don't you regret these mistakes?" This is what an epic self-own looks like. Even the apostate prophet chimed in to agree. "Abu, my G, improving your grammar may be your pathway to a better theology." Abu also tries the classic Bible challenge. "Any Christian who can show me the word Bible inside the Bible, I will become a Christian." And David replies by showing that the word Bible is from the Greek word biblos, which means book, a word that appears around 175 times in the KJV translation. I guess Abu Gaza is on his way to becoming a deacon at his local Baptist church. But in the world of online Dawah, promises are like Aisha's age, constantly being reinterpreted to fit the narrative. And look at that ratio, 77 to 4,600. No, that is more than a ratio. That's a drone strike. Next, we have the Duke of Nigeria. He's a technocrat, an academic, and a project manager. Unfortunately, his current project, Defending Islam on the Timeline, is significantly under budget and behind schedule. He writes, "Stop eating pigs. Eating pigs is haram." And David replies, "Eating pigs equals haram. Sex with prepubescent girls equals halal. Welcome to Islam." Yes, it's all about priorities, folks. Bacon, eternal hellfire, child brides, subhanallah, what a perfect example for mankind. But that's not all. He writes, "For the world to have peace, we must de-Zionize America." And David replies, "It would be far better for the world if we de-Islamize all of Nigeria." I mean, look at Nigeria: Boko Haram, ISWAP, kidnapped schoolgirls, Christian genocide, and the Duke thinks the problem with the world is America supporting Israel. Duke, don't you have shame? You have a log in your eyes the size of the Sambisa forest. But the Duke's PS de resistance was his Muslim man checklist: doesn't smoke, drink, womanize, party, gamble. And David replies, marries a 6-year-old, promotes wife beating, takes the wife of his adopted son, calls for the violent subjugation of the world, kisses a black rock, orders his followers to kill anyone who leaves him. He is. We all know who that is. It is just amazing how the Duke's pious list falls apart on the weight of the biography of the very guy who made the list. But enters Faarees. He's into Web3 and blockchain, which explains why his arguments are also based on things that don't actually exist in reality. He posted a long video of Sheikh Uthman trying to prove that Mary was 12 to justify Muhammad marrying a 6-year-old. His argument is basically, we are not immoral because your books say you are immoral too. But David Wood, who actually, reads books, wasn't having it. He points out that the proto-evangelium of James is about Mary's perpetual virginity and Joseph being a guardian, not a husband in the sexual sense. Zero sex with a 12-year-old justifies actual sex with a 9-year-old. Imagine being so desperate to defend Muhammad's marriage to a child that you have to lie about Mary's. That's a proof of work failure if I've ever seen one. And last but not least, Cool Ustaz. He's an Arsenal fan, so he's used to losing. This prepared him perfectly for his encounter with David Wood. He cites Matthew 26:39 to show that Jesus prayed like a Muslim. And David replies, LOL, you cited Matthew 26:39. Why didn't you quote what it says? My father. Is Allah the father of Jesus in Islam? Absolutely not. But without a sense of irony, Ustaz goes on to post this and call it the first 9 to accept Islam. And David replies, at least you are finally admitting that the people before Muhammad weren't Muslims. Ustaz, still not grasping the irony, goes on to rant about Muslim, meaning submitter, and how David is ignorant. And David replies, you, Abraham, Moses, and Jesus, we are all Muslims. Also you, the people around Muhammad, we are the first people to accept Islam. You again, I don't see the problem. That's right. According to Ustaz, Islam is both the oldest religion in the world and a religion that started in the 7th century with 9 specific people. He's playing 4D chess with a 1D brain. And there you have it. 4 defenders of the faith, 4 massive failures, and 1 David Wood with a very tired thumb from clicking reply. Nigerian Muslims on Twitter, beware. The Diesel is on a mission to use your pro-Islam tweets to wreck your religion and humiliate your prophet. And with the ease at which he does it, I have to wonder, why exactly are you still adhering to this hilarious monstrosity?